In 2012, we commissioned the film Positive Women Exposing Injustice, portraying women living with HIV in Canada and the effects of HIV criminalization on their lives.
I am from Pine Creek First Nations, from the tribe of Anishinaabe, which would be Ojibwe in English. I am an Aboriginal woman, two-spirited meaning a lesbian. My status as a positive woman has greatly affected my life. I believe for the first 8 years I didn't have a relationship. No one wanted to have a relationship with me, and it still happens today. They'll go, oh, okay. It just becomes a friendship then. It's no longer a relationship, and certainly not a sexual relationship. Once the breakup sometime has happened, I've had people go, well, I'm going to charge you. It's just a retaliation thing, and very common, I think, with people living with HIV to have that happen to them, whether you're gay, lesbian, or straight. That often happens to us.
In 2001, met someone through friends. He was super cute, a bit older. We started to have like this hot love affair. We ended up breaking up, and I got a phone call about a couple months after, and it was him on the phone, and he was in distress. He said that another girl had tested positive. I was like, fuck. Well, the police framed it as in, you know, you're a victim. Like, I was put back into that victim role, like he did this to you. Myself, I didn't charge him, but my name was brought up in court.
10 years later, in 2022, we went back to Lynn and Jessica to see how they've been and whether HIV criminalization remained an issue in their lives.
At that time, for me, the film was really connected to my experience with my ex-lover. I'm just thinking now, shortly after he committed suicide, which is, you know, I believe is a direct result from being part of the whole criminal justice system and being a white cis man who now had a criminal record for being on the sexual offenders list. So that has happened within that time, and it's really made me think even deeper about the impacts, in particular on mental health, quality of life, of criminalization for people living with HIV.
Bonjour, my name is Muskakik Kigwe. My government name is Lynn Thompson. I come from Pine Creek First Nations, Treaty 4. I now reside on the Coast Salish and ceded territory of the Musqueam, Tsleil-Waututh, and Squamish Nations, Miigwech. The film, I've actually been able to use it at the University of Saskatchewan, University of Alberta, University of Manitoba. In these settings, we will have people break down and cry because they didn't realize how marginalized we are and stigmatized we are by our Canadian government. I'm coming from a province where stigma is so prominent, and that's Saskatchewan. I just couldn't get the care and treatment I needed in Saskatchewan. And knowing that BC is the best for HIV in our country, so I was able to come here and now get on the meds, have a support system. And that support system is literally grassroots HIV positive people. Right now, we don't have a space for us to go share. COVID has been hard on us, and we still need to figure out how to take care of ourselves and have other people take care of us. We don't even have our elders around. We don't have our sweat lodges. So it's been real tough for HIV positive people in the last couple of years.
As someone who's been living with HIV since 2002, I actually still don't feel at all comfortable in a Canadian context not disclosing. The fear and the long-term impacts and the feelings of constantly being under surveillance are real.
With criminalization, it does come up once in a while, but not very often, because that's just a black cloud that hovers over us. It's something that I think we're well aware of it, but we tuck it way back in the back of our heads. It has affected my life. I did have a disgruntled landlord who actually tried to charge me for exposure. So that's a real reality, and that was only a couple of years ago.
In 2016, I got pregnant, and I'd been working on some global breastfeeding protocols, HIV criminalization cases, and in Canada, I knew that this was an area where the guidelines were clearly do not breastfeed. And it was formula feeding only. But I also knew that the WHO guidelines said different things for different places. In an African context, it was that women living with HIV should breastfeed for up to 2 years exclusively. So when I had the twins, I just remember being in that room and not breastfeeding, but wanting to so badly and feeling this real need and desire. I knew that there was other examples of children being taken away when a mother suggests or breastfeeds. There was one case where a woman living with HIV was charged, successfully charged.
My message to the government was, please protect us. We're still Canadians. We're a part of this great nation. And we need to relook at the laws and follow the scientific proof. We follow it with COVID. Why can't we not follow it with HIV/AIDS?
Don't you believe science? What age do you live in? No, but really, if there's a 0% chance risk if someone's undetectable, or there is a minimal risk if someone uses a condom, and there definitely shouldn't be any kind of, criminal law. You can be pissed off at someone. That is totally different. If you have an STI and you don't tell me and then I get it, I can be like, screw you. Why didn't you tell me? I'm mad at you. That's quite different than I want you to sit in a jail cell for 5, 10, 20 years. That is a totally different reality. The same as it's a totally different reality to say to a parent who may be breastfeeding her child with a less than 1% risk of transmission that, yes, your child is better off in a foster care system and detached from you. I think for the most part, people living with HIV are just trying to do the best that they possibly can with all of the information and the resources and the tools that they have. People living with HIV do not want to transmit HIV to other people, in particular their children. There's not a single HIV positive parent that's like that wants it to happen.
Just because of the work that I do, I have to be extremely careful because I am reviving people. I have to do sometimes mouth-to-mouth resuscitation. I have to make sure that I am protecting the person that I am trying to save or bring back. A lot of my work will consist of literally looking for bodies, making sure people are breathing. Like yesterday, it was payday. We had people dropping along the sidewalk. They just drop, and you got to make sure they're okay. HIV has become a useful tool for me that I have changed into a positive lifestyle because I am able to help people that can't get what I can do. So I'm really proud of actually being HIV positive because I can work in other fields and really make an impact on the ground.
For people living with HIV in Canada, my fingers are tightly crossed that soon HIV criminalization won't be an issue, that we can frolic and be free and enjoy a robust sex life that we deserve, like every other person.